our 2-year price lock guarantee. These are savings you can count on. Learn more at Wowway.com.
Wow.
Offer for new customers with a 2-year agreement. Auto pay and paperless billing. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Subject to change. Restrictions apply.
Your station for news, traffic, and weather in Central Ohio. News Radio 610 WTVN Columbus. WODC HD2 Asheville. An iHeartRadio station.
Trump's defense team beginning its first of 3 days on the Senate floor, making their case that he should not be removed from office over his dealings with Ukraine. The president's attorney, Jay Sekulow, said,
disagreeing with the president's decision on foreign policy matters, or whose advice he's going to take, is in no way an impeachable offense.
ABC's Karen Travers is in Washington with more on the case the White House attorneys are making.
White House lawyers push back on the allegation at the center of the House Democrats' case that President Trump withheld U.S. military aid from Ukraine in exchange for that country conducting investigations that could help him politically. Deputy White House counsel Michael Purpura.
The Democrats' entire quid pro quo theory is based on nothing more than the initial speculation of one person, Ambassador Sondland. That speculation is wrong.
But acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney acknowledged a quid pro quo last October. The president's legal team said today's presentation would be shorter, the bulk of their case to be made Monday. Health officials in the U.S. say Americans are at low risk of coronavirus. There are 2 cases in the U.S., but in China, where there are nearly 1,400 confirmed cases and 41 deaths, the government is taking stronger steps. Foreign tours abroad have been suspended. The city of Wuhan essentially locked down. George Goodwin lives there. He's an American and spoke with our partners at Sky News about waiting out the isolation.
I personally bought enough, like I said, to last 4 or 5 days, anticipating that the stores would be able to resupply. But the problem was that there's no transportation in the city right now.
Astronauts on a spacewalk outside the International Space Station plugged a leak in a cosmic ray detector. They're trying to fix a $2 billion spectrometer that searches for dark matter. You're listening to ABC News.
Columbus police are responding to an officer-involved shooting south of Ohio State's campus. Police say they responded to a robbery at the Bob Evans. One person was taken to Ohio State University Medical Center in critical condition. While there are no cases of the coronavirus reported in Ohio at this time, the state has declared the illness an immediately reportable disease. Any suspected or confirmed cases of the illness must be immediately communicated to local health departments to ensure cases of the deadly illness are made known. Ohio health officials, though, are ready to act if the virus is confirmed here.
What are the chances of the coronavirus infecting somebody here in Ohio?
You know, I think there's a decent chance.
Dr. Amy Acton is the director of the Ohio Department of Health. You can limit your risk to any illness, really, by doing common sense stuff.
You know, we don't know
Hey,
the severity yet. Right now, I feel that
Yes.
Ohioans are
Hickok
safe.
45 is going to be
If
calling
they're
in
taking
probably at the bottom of the hour,
precautions that you would take
course, for the second half.
typical viruses
You can't
that
tell
you're
me
washing
this.
your
He's going to be so
hands,
mad at me.
You know, that if
Why?
someone's
Who?
not feeling
Zach.
well, you're, getting some distance from that.
Oh my gosh,
We're gonna
is it
call-
weird?
A woman
Am I
killed
allowed to
in a
say my
crash in
husband
Union
adores
County.
you?
Heck,
Has
he has
been
4 million followers. We're going to say he's our man on the street for SHOT Show.
City died at
Okay,
Dublin
am I,
Methodist
allowed
Hospital.
Of course,
after
he
the
is
two-vehicle
super
collision
nice.
at the intersection of
Okay,
US 42
because-
and State Route 736.
gosh, and-
The driver of
Hey,
the
now,
ambulance
hey, just
was
hey, I
taken
want
to the hospital
FYI,
as
we are
well.
on Facebook
Condition
Live, so this
unknown.
feed is over the
Columbus
air.
based Jenny's
Okay,
Splendid
so I
Ice
will
Cream
text
is
you when we
unveiling
do
a new
promo.
flavor that it will serve for breakfast
Oh my
for just
gosh,
one
I'm
day.
like, I'm getting
On Saturday,
starstruck.
February
Where's that?
1st, Jenny Shops across the
just-
country will open at
Okay,
8
sounds good,
a.m.
though.
till
And
noon
do you
for
want
its
it
fourth
starting at
annual Ice
45
Cream for
seconds
Breakfast Day
and-
celebration. Early
No, the
risers
song, no,
can
at the
get a
beginning is
first
fine.
taste of a
Okay,
brand new
Yep.
flavor, skillet cinnamon roll cream cheese ice cream with dark caramel sauce. You'll need some coffee to go with that. For more news, listen to The Daily Dive. The big news stories
wait, what's
explained,
time again?
not
Sorry, Eric.
shouted. Listen to The Daily
Are you
Dive
talking about that
each
first
day on
song?
the iHeartRadio
No,
app or
that's the first
wherever
segment,
you get
right?
your favorite
Yeah.
podcast.
And then
I'm
what
Macy
time is he
Jepson.
calling? So
Oh, he's calling at
Filling your
12:30.
newsfeed with
12:30,
the top
that's right.
trending
Okay,
news.
All right.
At the top and bottom of the hour, Columbus's news is on News Radio 610 WTVN.
At Circle K, $1 can get you the freshest cup of coffee in the world. Every cup is ground fresh, right when you want it. So for a split second, your cup is the freshest on earth. Every cup ground fresh, starting at $1 at Circle K. Limited time only at participating locations.
It's always fun for me when I go to Allen's Coin Shop. Run into so many different people doing so many different things. I mean, some people come to Allen's because they need a little scratch. Yeah, maybe they inherited a few pieces from dad or grandpa, or maybe It's just, look, I'm a little short this month, so here's a few things I need to sell so I can come up with some cash. And Allen's is always there for you on that. Other people like me looking to add to their collections. Maybe it's U.S. coins, it's world coins, it's gold, it's silver. I just want to paw through the big kettle of wheat pennies, or I want to dig in that world coin treasure chest. See what I can find. So many different ways to collect, and now 60 years, Allen's has been taking care of people in Central Ohio. So look, if you need a little money and you've got stuff to sell, stop by Allen's. Top prices, that's what they pay every day. And if you're like me and you're looking to add to your collection, shop online at allensinc.com or do what I love to do, stop in the shop, State Street in Westerville, and see what they've got today. Allen's Coin Shop, serving collectors since 1960.
Live from LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility, this is On Target, the latest from the firearms industry, the products and politics that affect your hobby and liberty. This program may not be politically correct, but it is On Target. Now, your host, Eric Delbert.
Good afternoon. Welcome to On Target. We're broadcasting live from the studios of LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility that's located at 999 Bethel Road. I'm your host, Eric, along with my father, Phil. He sits to my left. Papa, did you see our story on Channel 4 this week?
I saw part of it.
I know you saw the interview. You know what? This is how pathetic it is. I forgot what the story was even about. I had to go look it up last night.
Yeah. My wife said, hey, there's Eric. I went, where? And he goes, on TV. I said, again? Okay.
Again.
Yeah,
right.
It was a good story, actually, and this is something we're probably going to talk about in a future week. ATF came out with their latest numbers on traces and all that stuff. In Ohio, there was a lot of firearms that were reported lost or missing from gun stores. So they picked up on that, like, how do you lose a gun from a gun store? And so at the end of the day, part of that is that they may be put down as lost during an audit, but they're subsequently found clerical errors on a lot of it. So we did help them out with a little story on that.
I have a hard time hearing myself, Eric.
How's that?
I don't know. Nope. Same thing.
So why don't we air out all these things while we're live?
Well, I can't do it until you press the buttons. All right.
So so that, and then we also had an opportunity this week to do an interview that's going to hit the national media. It's going to be really good. It's going to pull back the sheet on some stuff that has been needed to be said for a long time. So hopefully that's going to hit here in the next couple of weeks too. So that's all. It's been another busy week here at the store.
And that's why you need to listen to On Target, because we got all this big stuff coming up. So.
Big stuff.
There's a lot of big stuff.
Big stuff.
Well, we are the owners of LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility and are active law enforcement. But for 1 hour on Saturdays, we put together a group of firearm experts to discuss new products in the market, training tips, and oftentimes political topics surrounding the Second Amendment. Our commitment, though, has always been to bring you the facts about our industry and ultimately help our listeners and our customers with safe, responsible ownership of firearms. Today on the show is that time of year again, guys. Another year, and we did not attend the biggest firearms and accessories show in the country.
Wow.
Yeah, we need to get out to that.
Once a year they do this, and
yeah.
It's incredible.
And it's called SHOT Show. It's always in Vegas, and it is. We have the list here of everyone that exhibited. JC, I think, what does that look like to you? 1,000 booths?
I would say so. That is like in number 8 font, so it's hard to see. But I mean, it's 5 pages, folks. It's great. It's a great event.
So because we weren't able to get to it, we thought we at least get someone who was there to talk about it today. So at 12:30, we're going to have an LAPD man on the street call in and talk about it. And I'm going to be honest, guys, I'm not quite sure of the quality we're going to get here. So he was at least there, and so we'll get a first-hand look at some of the things and talk through it. And then we have some stuff here, too, that we wanted to talk about that was announced this week. Some of it's neat. I was a little bit disappointed, though, this week. I don't know. It just didn't seem as
big things, but there's improvements and some new stuff out there, and we'll cover that. So
right. So that's coming up at 12:30. Before that, Paul has the Gun of the Week, brought to you by CNS Engraving. This is where I usually put a witty remark about what's coming up, but I am speechless.
You are without speech.
I have no speech because
it's the Guns of the Week.
Guns of the Week.
And I will tell you right now, what does a punt gun, puckle gun, and duckfoot's gun have in common?
They all shoot ducks.
No. Absolutely nothing.
Really?
Yes.
So you just divulged your gun of the week in the first 2 minutes of the show.
Come on. You know, the thing is that when you're really starting to get desperate for guns of the week, because we've been on the air so damn long, excuse the French. Can we say that on the air? French?
Well, I think. Can we say French on the air?
Yeah. So, all right.
Yeah. Oh, and something else too. You have finally broken me, Eric.
Really?
You have finally broken me. You dangled those Model 10s out in front of me.
Oh my
Yes.
God! Not
And
again.
you have broken my will.
Really?
Yep.
What?
What's that? His will?
Oh no. It's a 44,
That is a 4473. You're
with
buying a firearm?
And
Well, there's a surprise.
And no less a revolver. That is a Model 10. I'm sorry. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, wait. New year. That was your resolution last year.
It wasn't a resolution. It was a promise that I was going to stop
We're going to
buying.
get you enrolled in a Model 10 recovery program.
If you're going to get me enrolled in anything, enroll me in some counseling because
That's what we will.
I
That's
think
what
we need counseling.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So that
to
gun
the
of the week's
tens.
coming up here at quarter after. Before that, though, we're going to get you caught up on the news of the day, which basically translates into what's going on over there in the Communist Republic of Virginia. And there was a big event this week that occurred on Monday, and it didn't quite play out like the anti-firearms folks wanted it
The
to.
media was there, but they weren't quite happy.
I'd like to thank our sponsors, Rampart Hosting, Toyota West, Jackson Lawn Care and Egress Windows, The Trigger Group, Blackwing Shooting Center, River's Edge Cutlery, CNS Engraving, and LAPD Training Facility, all who make the show possible each week. Joining me today in the LAPD studios, JC from the sales team sits to my right. What do you guys think about the new ear pads? Actually, it kind of sounds
is this our
funny.
Christmas bonus because they do feel really, really good.
Right.
They're.
I mean, I know you get paid top dollar and everything else.
Notice it's not dollars. It was dollar. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it does kind of make it sound funny, though, Papa. Do you hear that?
No, I think it sounds. No, you
He
guys
can't hear.
sound good. I just can't hear myself very well. That's
Really?
all. And
Okay.
I have in my hearing aids too.
Really?
Yes.
you go.
Yep.
New batteries.
There
Maybe
you
that's
go.
it.
My father, Coner Phil, sits to my left. Let me just ask you one question, Paul.
Yeah.
Why every time we do these interviews each week, you inevitably walk by and they say, well, who's that? And you sit there and you say, I'm Paul. I just speak my mind. You have an offer now for, what is this here? Paw Unfiltered. I mean, what's that all about? It's kind of like when Laverne and Shirley broke off of Happy Days.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't break away.
Well, sometimes you just get to that point in life where you need to separate.
All right.
But the thing is, I can guarantee you, there's not going to be any reality show.
All right.
I can tell you that right now.
Well, we're thankful for that.
Yeah.
That's
There
right.
we go.
Big Ed sits to our right. He's our newest crew member, our newest addition, still on probation, and he's actually going to be answering your Facebook posts out there. So when you message us on Facebook during the show, which we have quite a few people watching today, you can talk to Ed right now during it. And something else too, in regards to Facebook, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, please share that with other people that are, or with other groups that you're a part of, because then it helps with getting the message out there. And there's a lot of things this year that are going to need to be spoken to. So if we can get the positive message
I
out.
want to make a shout out to a couple of guys and girls that just checked in. Chris Jenkins, one of my Blue Knight members. Brandon Moore, you guys know Brandon from Morrow County SO.
Right. Yep.
And then my daughter.
Your daughter?
My
Your
daughter
daughter?
Jessica just checked in.
She's just trying to make you feel good.
Well,
But
hey, somebody
Ed,
has to, 'cause
Ed,
you don't.
Ed, when you respond back, keep it civil, though. Okay?
All right, I will.
All right.
I will.
Hey, but you know what? In all honesty, there was someone I saw that posted before we even started, and I'm sorry, but I didn't quite catch her name when it went through. But she talked about doing a show about guns that are good for females for concealed carry. No, we haven't done that for a while. So we are going to put that on the ticker in an upcoming show. We will.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
We will talk about that. But no, we are super happy to have you here, Ed, and
Hey, I'm
looking
glad
forward
to be here.
it.
I'm
and
looking forward to a long time running here.
that's right.
Hey, when my picture gets on the wall too, that'd be even better.
We'll get you after probation. We get your picture up there on that
After
wall.
probation, okay.
If you missed the show, you can always catch the podcast. That's at 610WTVN.com. It's also on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and Facebook Live. great place to watch the show because you get to see everything that goes on behind the scenes. You get to see the gun of the week. You get to see some of the other stuff that's sitting out here. And if you miss it, though, you can always go back and watch it on Facebook or on YouTube channel. So all different ways to see it. And like I said, this year is going to be a big year. Being informed. Twitter is big for us now, too. Instagram, we always put new used firearms that come in the door each week. It's a great place. We have a lot of guys who watch that, and they'll hit us up as soon as they see it post. So all kinds of ways to keep in contact.
all kinds of ways. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
So without any other info, JC, tell us what's going on this week.
All right. The elephant in the room this week was Virginia. Virginia has a lobby day. Once a year they do it, and they've been doing it for a very long time. And mostly it's centered around lobbying their congressmen in Virginia for Second Amendment rights. Well, this year it was with the new governor coming in with these draconian laws that they're actually putting in because they have control of the House, the Senate, and the governor. And he is one of the most anti-gun governors in the United States. And the bills they're passing. So this 20th was a big deal. Now, the media told us for weeks this is going to be another Charlottesville. Well, back in the day, Charlottesville, they had a big clash between white nationalists and the Antifa. And anyway, that's what they were waiting for. So their crews were gathered together. They said this is going to be a white supremacist rally. It's going to be, everything's going to be happening. The governor, so interesting that he was so worried about these people coming out to protest what he's doing that he declared a state of emergency, banned all guns from the Capitol Square. And as Tom, one of our listeners who's sitting out here, quipped this morning, he goes, it's funny that the Democrats don't want us to put up a wall to keep the illegals out, but they put up a wall fence to keep the citizens of Virginia away from the Capitol, where they were going to sit on the steps and protest. So I thought that was funny. He was so scared, the governor even left the state. He fled to North Carolina.
I can't believe that.
And one of another Democrat fled to. He said, "I'm fleeing." He fled to a safe house because he claimed on Twitter that the police wanted to kill him. This is what is happening in Virginia. It's ground level. Now remember, from the Second Amendment states, they have, of all the counties, 95 counties in Virginia, 91 have declared themselves Second Amendment sanctuary counties. It's just amazing. An NBC News personality claimed that this pro-gun rally was a white supremacist rally, which was a bunch of BS. The police surrounded the Capitol with dump trucks. The city was bracing for this big fight with the white supremacists everywhere. Guess what? They didn't. There wasn't anybody there. There were citizens like you and I calmly protesting. Here's one quote I really loved. This is a quote from Aubrey James. He said, "The whole white supremacist nonsense was to prevent us from showing up," said Aubrey James at NoFark. "They don't want a black man like me to stand up for my rights." He goes, "The Democrats are the most racist people on the planet, and they elected in Virginia a known racist to be the governor of Virginia. So what do you expect?" So this is what's happening.
Well, he tried to fit in.
That's right. That's true. He did try to fit in.
And
in
Tom
college.
gave me an article from the Wall Street Journal from this morning. The whole title of it is "The Second Amendment Sanctuary Movement Isn't Going Away." So this was a Wall Street Journal article.
I
today,
saw a picture out of Virginia, the protest on Monday, and it was actually a picture from someone we knew that was there, so it wasn't from a social media site, and it was a number of sheriff officers or deputies in uniform marching with everyone else with a big sign that says "We support the Second Amendment."
Amen.
It was neat. It was neat to see that.
This is what the citizens, the Democrats, I don't know why they want to disarm America, because it's not just to save lives, and we'll talk about that.
You know what blows my mind is there was only one arrest out of 22,000 people, and it sounds like they may have been opposers.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not the people who support it. It was an opposer.
It was somebody who showed up to protest. Okay.
Well, as we go into break here, I wanted two things I wanted to shout out. Is one thing, guys, if you haven't followed our Facebook page throughout, we posted something out there. Two lovely ladies, Diamond and Silk. I don't know if you've ever seen them.
They're hilarious.
They are a riot. They have about a 12-minute video about firearms and Second Amendment rights. It's a must-see. You have to see it. We're trying to get them on the show as well. They are just awesome. When we come back from the break, it is Paw Paw's Guns of the Week, brought to you by CNS Engraving. We're on Target, broadcasting live from the studios of LEPD Firearms and Range. We'll be back right after the break.
The Mark Blazer Show, Monday at 3.
Hope you're having a great weekend. Anyone know where Winter is? At 407, are you someone who makes complicated food orders? Plus, the defense finally gets their turn in the impeachment trial. And Elise Chingari will join me in the studio. Fun starts Monday at 3, News Radio 610 WTVN.
Your heart deserves world-class
Yes.
care.
Yes.
So when you or
You may take something
someone you
funny?
love has been
Oh,
told
what's
you
the
have a
temp?
heart condition, turn to
37.
Cleveland Clinic.
So
The
as soon
number one
as
heart
soon as we had
program
that
in the
conversation
nation
before
for
the show,
25 years in a row.
Facebook
When
post.
you
Can't
choose
wait to hear
Cleveland
Hit
Clinic,
Got 45.
There's peace of mind knowing
No,
you
no,
have
no,
a
that's
team
funny.
specialized in
That's
the
so
most
funny.
Yep.
complex heart cases.
I always forget you guys do the
with an
Facebook thing
unparalleled
until,
record
like,
of successful
before the
treatments.
show,
Yeah, you and me
and
both.
access
Hey, did
to
we get
the
in trouble
most
for
advanced
Paw Paw
heart
saying damn?
technology available.
No, I haven't had to push it yet.
It's
so
why
just-
heart
Oh,
patients
John
from
said
all
BS.
50 states and 129
don't
countries
say the actual
have
word.
traveled
Don't
near
say the
and
actual-
far to
I
put their
know.
trust in
BS is
Cleveland
fine.
Clinic.
Damn was fine.
So if you or a loved one are looking for
you
answers
have
to a
about
heart
1
condition
minute. I'm trying
or
to go
need a
like
second opinion,
one show without pushing
call
the
the
dump button.
top-ranked
We never
heart
get
team
the
in
dump button.
No, I'm talking about like
Cleveland
in
Clinic.
general.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like you guys, I've never had to push it. Knock on wood, literally right now. So-
Cleveland Clinic.
All right.
Every life deserves
It'll be
world-class care.
30 seconds now.
30 seconds.
The iHeartRadio app is
super easy.
They do the work for me.
Playlist for everything.
You can browse a ton of categories.
Whatever you're doing or feeling.
It helps my mood. It's sort of like Netflix for my podcast, but it's free, which is way better.
Comedy, sports,
Entertainment.
crime, business.
Did I mention it's all free?
I love free.
I got it for radio, but I love podcasts, and I discovered that they have all of them.
I mean, who wouldn't love it?
The iHeartRadio app. Radio, music, podcasts. All free. Free never sounded better. Download the iHeartRadio app today.
Listen to Winning Retirement Radio with Greg and Kristen Taylor of LegacyRetirementGroup.com. This weekend on 610 WTVN.
Your ABC6 first warning weather for today. Scattered rain early, then cloudy and chilly with a wintry mix returning late in the day, high of 38. Tonight, scattered snow showers are likely. Light accumulation is possible, low of 32. Sunday, mostly cloudy and chilly, high of 36. It's currently 37 degrees on your severe weather station, News Radio 610 WTVN.
Talk around the clock and breaking news at once. News Radio 610 WTVN.
Welcome back to On Target. I'm your host, Eric, joined in the LEPD studios today with Big Ed. Sits to my right.
Hey,
JC
hey.
is right here. My father, Cooner, Phil sits to my left. Do you know what song that was, Paw Paw?
Nope.
Let me give you, I'll give you, well, first I'll just tell you, the name of the song is No Rain. You know, kind of appropriate, right?
Yeah.
Guess who the artist is? I'll give you one hint.
I don't know.
Let's go with a piece of fruit that can't see.
A peach.
a piece of fruit that can't see.
Yeah. No, nothing?
No, because most of the fruits I know can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your favorite group, Blind Avocado.
Blind
No, wait a second. You're close, JC. That was actually Blind Melon.
Blind
Melon.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the name of the group.
No, it's not.
What? Yes, it. Why do I got to lead you guys? Oh my word!
Anyway, you get these off-the-wall songs that Emily plays for you. She doesn't get it that I'm the overall boss. You know, I can't trump anything that you tell her.
Why?
I don't understand it.
You
I don't
can.
know.
You wait till the next break.
Okay.
We're broadcasting live from the studios of LEPD Firearms and Range. That's on Bethel Road. We're right here in the middle of the showroom if you want to stop by and see us. It's that time where we do the Gun of the Week. It is Paw Paw's time for that. And, Paw Paw, you have a couple unique ones. You chose to do several here.
Well,
and, you
I
actually
did.
have some time today.
Well, I did because I'm really just going to blow through these really
Real fast?
quick. Yeah, real fast.
Good.
I've got pictures out front of these because I certainly
you know
don't.
what?
I
If you're
certainly-
watching on Facebook, we're zeroed in on them.
Okay. The first one I'm going to talk about is the punt gun. And it was an extremely large shotgun used in the 19th and early 20th centuries for shooting large number of waterfowl.
Yes.
For
you to say.
waterfall for commercial harvesting operations.
You followed that one up.
I did.
Don't say nothing.
Don't say nothing. Okay. They actually had to take these weapons out of use or out of service because they killed so many ducks with one shot.
Well, it was a shotgun, right?
It was a shotgun. It has something like a 2-inch bore, okay, and it's like 10 to 15 feet long, and you certainly can't hold it. They had to mount it on a punt. That's where they got the name.
Wow. So was that a shell, JC, that went in that, or what? I mean,
they were black powder. So so they were
Yeah.
black powder. So it wasn't a shell.
Yeah.
But they would. That's when they were harvesting just everything, passenger pigeons, everything just blown out of the sky.
You could
and
shoot.
that's what
Well,
they did.
these ducks were floating innocently on the
sitting.
pond. 50 of them. They would
Really?
kill 50 of them with one shot.
Yeah, I mean, just a
Wow.
harvest.
And
That's
so,
food
you know,
harvesting, and that was
yeah.
what they did.
So anyway, that's the punt gun.
Incredible, though.
Okay.
Yeah, what you got next?
The next is the puckle gun. Okay,
Okay.
and
Puckle gun.
it's named after the inventor James Puckle. and and it was also known as the defense gun, and it was a primitive crew-served, manually operated flintlock. It was a revolver. Yeah, that's what they call it. And it was patented in 1718 by James Puckle, and it was so popular, and the production was that they only made 2 of them.
It's a rarity.
Yeah, but
Only 2.
But it
Yes.
but it sat on a tripod, and it had a single barrel. It was flintlock, obviously, and you had to take the drum or whatever off the back and load it, and that's your your very first machine gun.
So it was flintlock and not a percussion, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
3 at a time.
Wow.
Wow.
Pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Now, and the last one is what they call a duck's foot gun, or it's also called a volley gun. And if you can see the pictures up front, there's various models, variations, whatever. And they had 4 barrels was the common version, and they would be spread out. The outer barrels maybe at a 30-degree angle from the center, and it was to shoot multiple assailants at one time, one shot.
At one time?
One shot.
Was there any practicality in those, JC?
Anti-boarding back in the days when there were pirates and stuff, you could get close
Well,
quarter. You just
they
fire
were
and see
popular.
what you can-
They
what
were
you can knock
popular with bank guards. And
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
It would be intimidating. If I came up against that, I would be a little bit, we'd be like coming up against a shotgun, I guess.
And the
You
one
wouldn't have to worry about
percussion,
your aim getting
just
off.
one
That's
percussion,
right.
all of them would fire at the same time. So it
Yeah.
wasn't when they went
Right.
off band.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, my brother Mike just checked in from Florida. Said the Second Amendment is alive and well there.
But is it just all your family watching?
Hey, well, I become popular real quick.
I will tell you this. Now, I don't want to get big head for Big Ed, but but since you've been on, our Facebook presence has doubled. So I'm just saying.
And I want to say my niece Donna Marie, she is an avid duck hunter. I'm sure she'd love to have this
punt gun.
She's taken out how many ducks and geese so far this year. She'd love to have 50 at a time.
Really?
Oh, she's crazy duck hunter.
How would you like to field dress those? 50 of them.
She'd do it all day long.
Really?
She loves
Wow.
duck hunting.
Really?
Wow. So hello, Donna Marie.
So great. That's a good gun of the week, Paul. Next week, we're kind of messed up in our order here, but JC, you have the gun of the week. I don't know how we get in this order, but
That's
JC,
all right.
it's you.
We'll do the gun of the week.
Next week. Before we go into break, one thing I want to follow up to last week when we had Eric Trump here. One thing that I was going back to my notes and I saw that we failed to mention last week that's just interesting, and there's 2 different neat parts to this. One, it shows how much of a common person he is we were talking about CCW, and he says, yeah, to get it in New York is through all, there's so many things you have to do. And he says, just for me to have a valid license to carry, I have to carry 3 different New York issued IDs of sorts. Remember that,
Wow,
JC,
yeah,
when he said that?
I remember when he said
and
that.
he says it's like George Costanza in the Seinfeld episode, which we kind of got a chuckle of that he even related to that. But it's just, man, what a different place, as far as not being very sensible on gun stuff.
Yeah, and Cuomo probably thinks it's still too liberal. Yeah.
Right, and next week we're going to talk about murder rates in different cities, and it's very interesting to
Very
see
interesting.
how those cities are from a political standpoint and how they are from a gun allowing different gun standpoint. So we come back from the break. We're going to get to our man on the street at SHOT Show. We're on Target. We're broadcasting live from the studios of LAPD Firearms and Range. We'll be right back after the break.
Is your car ready for winter, or is it time to upgrade? Visit MiracleMotorMart.com to see over 350 pre-owned cars, trucks, and vans. With 2 locations, Miracle Motor Mart is always close by. Call 614-337-0037 or visit MiracleMotorMart.com to see their selection today.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Retirement Group. We can help ensure you'll have a reliable income stream in retirement, locking in gains and avoiding downturns in the market. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Hi, this is Scott Grissett and Jody Shields of Columbus Mobility Specialists. If you're having trouble climbing the stairs in your home, consider a stairlift system from Columbus Mobility.
Our comfortable, quiet systems offer you the safety you need to avoid dangerous falls and give you back your independence.
We are currently running a special, just $26.50 installed for a straight rail stairlift.
Call us for a free estimate. That's Columbus Mobility Specialist, 614-825-8996, or on the web at
columbusmobility.com.
News, traffic, and weather for Columbus. News Radio 610 WTVN.
Ohio has declared the coronavirus an immediately reportable disease. Any suspected or confirmed cases of the illness must be immediately communicated to local health departments to ensure cases are made known. A former Columbus meteorologist intends to now plead guilty to 4 counts of possessing child pornography and will request to be screened for acceptance into an intense therapy program. Mike Davis's attorney says his client used pornography to self-medicate his mental health issues. The Let Noah Run movement continues in Northwest Ohio. It was started by a Toledo 16-year-old initially disqualified from a race for wearing a hijab. Friday, she brought in speakers from around the country, including a woman who spent 2 years fighting to be able to wear a hijab in a boxing ring. For more news, listen to The Daily Dive. The big news stories explained, not shouted. Listen to The Daily Dive each day on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your favorite podcast. I'm Macy Jepson.
Anything yet, Em?
Hi, I'm Rick Germain from the all-new Toyota West, and we're starting off the year with huge savings during our grand opening sales event. Visit the all-new Toyota West off I-270 in Georgesville Road on Automall Drive, or get
Really?
started at
That's how much he loves him.
Wow,
Hi,
what did
I'm
he
Ron
say?
Greenbaum, the basement
He was
doctor.
honored
We're proud
and
of our
told him
33 years
for
helping the
watching.
homeowners of
So,
Ohio with all their
I had a
basement
fangirl
needs.
for a moment.
Basement or crawl space problems?
So,
no problem.
yeah,
Log on to
they own property,
basementdoctor.com.
Yeah, I guess he loves this. I don't know. He's shown me so many videos. They all run together.
Feeling you get when you spend less.
But you have about
get
30
more.
seconds.
30 seconds.
What if
Thank you,
that
ma'am.
feeling also came with a 60-day satisfaction guarantee? Raise your expectations. With Wow Business, you get fast internet and a partnership that helps enable business growth and success. Act now. Get 1 gig Wow Business internet starting at $199 a month. Visit wowforbusiness.com. Offer for new customers. 2-year agreement required, subject to change. Restrictions apply.
Dormar, your pilot hero. Furnace broken? Dormar Heating and Cooling will fix it today, guaranteed.
Live from LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility, this is On Target, the latest from the firearms industry, the products and politics that affect your hobby and liberty. This program may not be politically correct, but it is On Target. Now, your host, Eric Delbert.
Welcome back to On Target. I'm your host, Eric, joined today in the LAPD studios with our newest member, Big Ed. Sits to my far right, good friend of the family, fellow officer, JC from the sales team, is sitting right next to me, my father and co-owner, Phil, of course, to my left. This week was the biggest show on earth in regards to firearms and accessories worldwide. Anyone who was anyone was in Vegas this week, except us. I guess we're no one.
Yeah, I guess there you go.
You know,
next year
we
are going.
I know that. You know what? I'm going to take you up on that.
All right.
So there were, we estimated over 1,000 booths if you look at the listing, and this is where manufacturers, new and old, get to pitch new ideas. Not just pitch them, they get to roll out new things. So, you know, knowing that we need to cover this every year, we go through some of the new things. We decided this year to have an LAPD man on the street, basically. And this, I got to tell you, like we said up front, we're not sure what we're getting here. We don't pay much. So we contacted an individual who was there, and I think he's on the phone now, and we're going to go through some of the things he saw and if he liked anything and kind of give his opinion to it. So I'm just saying up front, if I'm not sure how this is going to go, so bear with us.
You get what you get, Eric. All right?
You do. You kind of get what you pay for and stuff. So, sir, are you there with us?
Yes, I'm with you. Yeah, you are definitely not going to get much, right?
No, wait a second. Is this you were at SHOT Show this week, right?
Yes, and you will get what you paid for, right?
That's starting to worry me.
I spent a lot of time in the strip bar.
We didn't pay you that much. On with us right now. So honored. Every time we have him on, we're blessed. Mr. Hickok 45 on the air with us. How are you doing, sir?
I appreciate all folks watching. Just want to say thanks to everybody.
Yeah, I tell you what, if people don't know you, then I guess they're not a fan of the industry.
Everybody knows him. How many followers did we see this morning on his?
4.7 million people follow you now?
7 million people are following you.
And they're not all relatives.
No,
right?
No, right? Not like Big Ed here.
Got a long way to go.
I mean, in all honesty, that is impressive. It's honor. I mean, that's just incredible. John and I were watching a video that you had out there from a couple years ago, where I think you shot a Smith & Wesson 460 into a watermelon.
Yeah, been to a series of watermelons.
33 million views on it?
That was it was just 33 million people watched that. It's incredible.
We have done 250 shows, and we're not up to 1,000 views, I think. That's just incredible.
It's probably a little high, but yeah, we're close on that.
Yeah. So, in all honesty, though.
It is amazing. It is. I think we got over 1 billion views. It's just phenomenal. It doesn't seem real, to tell you the truth.
Are you still having fun?
Yeah, or I wouldn't do it. I would not do it. I look forward to getting another firearm or an old one. I enjoy the old ones as much as the new ones, and I just enjoy bringing it out and shooting it. And the filming is almost. It's just almost second nature now, and the thing is, we didn't set out to just, hey, let's create a project here. We mainly sort of just brought out the camera to what we were already doing in a lot of ways, so that's what keeps it simple,
Wow. Do you ever get to the point where you worry that you're going to run out of things?
Never.
Oh, no. I've got a to-do list about a mile long, and then constantly getting requests in, and the fact that we don't do just new guns. We do anything that hadn't been that I haven't shot yet that looks interesting. We're liable to do an antique firearm of any kind, just you name it. So it doesn't really matter. That's why I'm not your best reporter, and as I said, you do get what you paid for, because I don't get as enamored as a lot of people do at SHOT Show with all the new stuff and making notes and making sure I see everything. For John and I, it's a trip. We come out for 2 weeks. We're in Tucson now. He's doing some stand-up tonight and did last night. We make a trip out of it, and the SHOT Show is just a piece of our trip. But we enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and I saw some new stuff.
And I'll tell you though, just from reading things, I wasn't, and maybe it's kind of like you. You've been in this a while, and it takes more and more to get you excited about a new product. And I wasn't overly thrilled about anything. I mean, what did you see as you walked around?
Yeah, I didn't get crazy. Ironically, one of the most interesting things to me that has come out in the last week or two or three is the new Colt Python, and and of course they're having some issues with it, but that was interesting to me. But I don't know, there were some other things. I looked at a lot of the booths. There's a lot of pistols now with the RMRs on them,
right,
coming out with the optics on them, and lots of little PDWs, little pistol braces, AR-based things like the new one from Springfield Armory. I think it's a Saint Edge, and the barrel is detachable very simply. It's kind of an interesting thing there. Daniel Defense has one that's really, really cool. So for people who like the AR pistol type, platform, and I go back and forth on that. I keep thinking I'd like one. Of course, as big as I am, they're kind of hard to fit me the way I'd like, but a lot of those, and pretty interesting. But I'm just as interested as I walk around there handling the Winchester lever guns, at the Winchester booth, or
Right.
the Seiko bolt action rifles and all that.
Right. I was kind of, the things that kind of jumped out for me, not having them, seeing them in hand and stuff. The Ruger coming out with the 5.7, which I was kind of, it's kind of finally someone else besides FN has in the pistol. So I'm looking forward to that. I like
if
that
you like
round.
That cartridge is half the price of the FN. So
Right, and Gold Dot now is coming out with a defensive 5.7 round, so it's almost like another resurgence in that a little bit. There's really
it does.
Nothing else. I mean, obviously you've seen the Glock 44, the 22. Have you shot that one yet?
No, I haven't shot the Glock 44. I handled it at the Glock booth, and it seems fine. And somebody, I think don't want to talk out of school. I think it was one of the Action Target guys that was telling me that at the range day, I didn't shoot it there either, but at the range day on Monday, that they were there, I think, with some of their targets maybe or something, and that they were pretty impressed how that thing did. Because you know how 22 ammo is and automatics, they're just going to malfunction after they get dirty, no matter who makes them, really. But he was like amazed. Basically, there were hardly any malfunctions as people were going through those pistols just over and over and over. And so that's good news to me, because that's one of the things that I don't care who you are, it's hard to make a 22 semi-automatic pistol that's going to just be working flawless,
Right.
Amen.
And they seem to have had the right mindset going into it. I mean, a lot of research, and I think one of the stats that I saw that was kind of interesting is that they said something like, it was the normal handheld 22 pistol has 85 rounds before the first failure, but they wanted to triple that, so it was a couple hundred. I mean, there was some number there that was, I'm like, okay, that's impressive, Well,
they went out on the limb with that Glock perfection, saying that they had perfected it before they released it. So,
Right.
Yeah. There you go.
Any other things? I saw Sky came out with a pistol that includes the red dot
with
now.
The red dot on your Sky.
Which it probably doubles the price.
Oh, there you go.
I don't, but there's really nothing else I
They're
saw.
on everything.
There was nothing that really jumped out at me. Caltech, kind of a neat sub 2000 that's fully suppressed.
Yeah, it's an integral
Yeah, I saw
suppressed.
that, yeah.
So, but you got to get your tax stamp and $1,000 and all that stuff. But that's
I saw that. Now, we've got the Ruger 5.7 at the house, and I shot that before we left, and it seems fine. You mentioned that firearm, and I think that has really brought that cartridge back. It seems like already. I see a lot of interest in it. There's uppers for it and everything else.
Right, and the thing, FN has always been, it's like every year the gun goes up $100. The 5.7 from FN, having a little competition there, I think will allow other people to get back into that, because I like the round, so I'm anxious to see those hit the ground. Well, how about accessories? Anything big you saw walking around?
Nothing that struck me. Like I say, I'm not as tuned into a lot of that kind of thing. We don't review accessories, and I don't hang a lot of stuff on my guns either, so they don't jump at me as much, other than holsters and some things like that I might have interest in. I'm pretty selfish when I go there. I really am. We don't do videos much, and all that stuff's online, so we just try to enjoy, seeing the people that we know in the industry and getting around and, just enjoying the ambiance of being in a location with, I don't know how many it is, 100,000, 50,000 like-minded individuals. So it's a pretty neat place to be.
Can you even walk around? Can you even enjoy it? You can't. Just being a taller guy anyway. You probably don't go 2 steps, can you, without
being
getting
surrounded.
mobbed?
Well, yeah, we get recognized a lot. But that's fine. It's not more so at the NRA meeting, but yeah, we have a hard time hiding, but that's fine. we get to shoot for a living, and so anybody wants a picture to talk to, that always is first priority.
Right. Any things in the near future about coming back to Ohio?
Oh no plans. I
Nothing
may
here
get
to
up
come
to
back to.
Frankfurt. I think, Kentucky later this week. I think there's a rally going on up there. I may get up to that, but I don't know when I'll be in Ohio again. No plans right now.
Okay.
Been out for 2 weeks, so I'm anxious to just get home right now.
Right. Well, thanks so much for calling in. Always great talking to you and catching up with you. And certainly, I know if you're in the area, you'll stop by. You did it last time, so we always like to see you. And we always we'll always keep an eye out for some of those old revolvers if any have your name on it here.
There you go. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you all again. Thanks a lot, man.
Hey, thanks for taking time out of your day to call in. Mr. Hickok, 45. Just a wonderful man. I mean,
wonderful man. Right.
Just when he was here that day and spent all those hours with us. And the funniest thing, and I know we've told the story several times, he went up there on the range and stood in line. And people were like, I kind of recognize him. But it was so out of, you didn't place him that this was where he was at. And he would, hey, what are you shooting today? And hey, I like this. And people didn't even realize they're having a conversation until they recognized him.
Yeah,
so
a lot of followers. But yeah, his shows are fantastic. You could watch them 24 hours a day.
And I did. You know what I do? I do blame him, though, for so many sleepless nights.
Yes, me too.
It's ridiculous. You start to watch one, and then all of a sudden you're off, and you look down, and it's 2:30 in the morning. And,
what a great guy.
Yes. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the other items that were announced at SHOT Show this week that are possibly something to watch for in the coming weeks. We're on Target, broadcasting live from the studios of LAPD Firearms Range. We'll be right back after the break.
Do I think President Trump will be impeached?
Do I think President Trump will be impeached?
Probably not.
I do think he will be impeached. I don't think he will be removed from office.
Trial in the Senate.
I think the Democrats have been trying to impeach him for 3 or 4 years now.
The impeachment of President Trump.
It's not about Ukraine. It's about they don't like the guy. They're blocking his agenda.
Hear about it?
I am so disgusted over this double standard.
Talk about it.
What's on my mind is the cost of all this.
Right here.
The people have wised up.
News Radio 610 WTVN.
Start the new year off right with a brand new 2020 Toyota RAV4 or a 2020 Toyota
Miss
Camry.
Emily?
Check out our website, TanskySawmillToyota.com.
Hey, you know what? Did it help after you told me
see us
that?
on the corner of Sawmill
Yes, a
and
little bit, but then I
161.
went back,
And
so I don't
remember,
know.
Okay, I thought
It wasn't as bad as when I told you.
it was sometimes on callers, and I don't know why. Our speaker out the front seems to come back in the feedback or something. I don't know. I turned that down.
I don't know either, but I was like,
did you know that in the last 6 months,
Yep, perfect. Awesome. Your husband's going to be jealous.
Oh, he is. I know. And he has the flu right now, too, so.
Winning
is everywhere.
It is 37 and you have 20 seconds.
20 seconds? Oh, my. All right.
One of Papa's
The fetal
songs is
heart
coming
rate
up
had
next.
dropped
All
to a
right, I'll let
dangerous
him know.
level, causing a lack of oxygen to the child's brain. A C-section would have prevented the child's cerebral palsy. Discover the truth. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Elk and Elk, experienced in birth injury cases.
Time to replace your furnace? Contact Fire and Ice Heating and Air at IndoorTemp.com.
Your ABC 6 first warning weather. Today, scattered rain early, then cloudy and chilly with a wintry mix returning late in the day, high of 38. Tonight, scattered snow showers are likely. Light accumulation is possible, low of 32. Sunday, mostly cloudy and chilly, high of 36. It is still currently 37 degrees on your severe weather station, News Radio 610 WTVN.
Columbus's news, traffic, weather, and sports station. News Radio 610 WTVN.
Where it began, I can't begin to knowing, but then I know it's
Welcome back to On Target. That's from Papa's Oldies, Volume 1.
Neil Diamond.
That's classic. You know what? I blame you, Papa, because we grew up listening to that on those Friday nights, and now it's etched in my brain.
Etched in your brain. Yep.
So
we used to do that when Mom was gone, right?
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, had to.
Yep, and I think I remember you playing that and getting ready to go out on Cops on Friday night.
Could be.
Could
be.
Yep, kind of getting pumped up before you went out.
Could be.
Welcome back to On Target. I'm your host, Eric, joined today in the LEPD studios. My father, co-owner Phil, he sits to my left. If you're watching on Facebook, it's always entertaining to see when we come back from the breaks and hear what goes on during the breaks. Luckily for Emily, she doesn't have to hit the dump button during the breaks. My good friend from the sales team, John, sits to my right, just a wealth of knowledge and been with us since T-minus 6 months. He was here before we were even here.
Before the beginning. So.
Yep.
Big Ed, good friend of ours, co-officer, fellow officer and stuff.
I've been here a long time, too.
You have. You really have, Ed.
Long
from
time.
From the beginning.
You have. You really
In
have.
and out
so.
from the beginning, yes.
Yep, we go back a long way.
Well, the
he
only
sits to my right.
the only problem with actually it's not a problem, but I just have to move the camera back a little bit farther.
That's all right.
To get the panoramic view.
Only you, Phil. Only you.
Only me.
Hey, Zane jumped in, Papa, and said, "Just make sure you don't hurt yourself dancing when those songs like that."
Hey, my days of dancing and hurting myself are over.
That's for sure.
Papa, going into that break, you said there was something you.
Well, I think it's important to bring this up. How many guns, Eric? I guess mostly pistols, handguns, displayed. Do you think we have out there?
Displayed, I think we're at 1,200 or something.
1,200.
Or maybe it's 1,000.
Really?
Yeah.
One, I think it was Tom here, told me he was visiting one of our competitors and decided to count the number of guns that was in the case. 82. They have 82, and we have 1,000 to 1,200.
Well, and it's Popo, you mentioned that, and we should probably talk about it too. I mean, we have really delved into the used gun market. This week alone, we had 4 or 5 lever actions, beautiful, come in. We've had 4 or 5 single action Rugers of all different calibers and case colored come in. It has really evolved into a wonderful selection, JC.
And I think that one of the things that people are really surprised, because I tell them all the time, outside of the used guns, which you can't control what models come in, no 2 guns are alike. So you have 1,200 guns, but they're not, 2 of this, 3 of this.
Correct.
Yeah.
Every one is different in some respect.
Yeah.
Grip, sights, whatever. But it's the largest selection. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. It's been very impressive. Which may be one of the reasons that the National Shooting Sports Foundation picked this store when they did an article buying a concealed carry gun in Ohio. We got picked as the #1 store. We have the variety, we have the knowledge, we got the range right here.
Right.
It's just anyway.
It's a good place.
Been here,
We're so fortunate. What a great.
Guns don't stick around very long either.
I know. Sorry. Ed came in today and wanted to buy that pie polished Ruger, but it sold yesterday.
Oh man,
it wasn't here, but
I've been eyeing that too. Is that the one that was back on the counter?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
What else you got, Papa?
Well, the other thing, did you drink some of our coffee today? Eric?
Yes.
And John, you drink some of our coffee, and so do I. And now you know that part of our water system, for the folks out there that don't know, we're on a well system here. And so it's pretty rotten water.
Yeah,
and
coming in, yep.
And we've spent a lot of money to get filters and equipment to make it drinkable. But it's on the fritz right now, or at least partially on the fritz. I just wondered if you guys are having any reactions to this coffee. Because,
there we go.
That's why I got the bottle of water.
There you go. Yeah, you see, I don't have a cup in front of me anymore either.
Because the last 2 nights I spent more time in the bathroom than I did in bed. So I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But now this is legit. Now we joke, but this is legit. In my former life, I was very much into engineering and that profession, and architects, engineers, and I am working on trying to get us tied into city water line.
Right.
And I'm having a little bit of difficulty because I can't get people to return my calls. Everybody's busy, and we're able to connect to city water if we could get the line close to us. Anybody out there who's listening, who's a professional, who knows?
Not 2 men and a shovel.
Not 2 men and a shovel. No, that would not work. But but we need to develop plans.
Yep.
Enough to get permits from the city of Columbus, and actually to do the work if they want to do the work.
Yep.
And so, anyways, if you know somebody, or if you are that person, call in and
call the store,
and ask for Pawpaw.
That's right. There you go. Good public service announcement.
That's what I'm thinking.
Hey, let's jump to Gene on the phone. He's on with us. Good morning, sir. You're on with OnTarget.
Hey, I got a question for you. I just recently acquired a Banshee at 9mm.
Yep.
And I put a Vortex Spark AR optic on it. but I'm thinking about finally taking the dive and getting a can. I know there's a tax stamp, wait half my lifetime to get permission and all that. What would be a good can to put on that Banshee?
You know what? There's so many out there, and I don't. The funny thing is they all, none of them, when you look at the number of decibels that they reduce, they're all about the same.
They're all about the same.
And so from there, you kind of look at the cosmetic features of it. You look at the value for it,
the ease of disassembly for cleaning.
Exactly. If you stop by,
that's the big thing right there. The cleaning. Yeah, I don't want to have to get one that I've got to send it off to get it cleaned.
Exactly. If you stop by, we can walk you through a few of them. But we always say, as long as you stick with the big companies, you're not going to go wrong. The Surefire, the Silencer Co's, the Dead Air.
Yankee Hill.
Yankee Hill.
There's a bunch. So we probably left some out, but there's a bunch of good companies out there. So.
And the other thing too is,
well, as soon as I get a chance, I'm going to run up there then.
Right. Well, run up here, and then we can help you pick one out, and then you can, we can help you file the paperwork. We do the fingerprints right here on site. And the other thing too is we're seeing them come back a hair quicker than they were before. We had one go in.
I talked to a guy the other day, said he got it back in 4 months.
Well,
exactly.
Yeah, that's really fast because we normally were saying 6 to 11 basically,
right.
even for police officers.
Yeah.
We had one come back in 4 months as well.
Wow.
The ones that we're seeing that are taking longer are the ones that are through a trust. For whatever reason, they seem to drag on a little bit longer. So
well, they got more people involved now. Everyone has to. So
True.
there's more than just one person.
Yes. Well, hey, come stop by and see us, Gene. We can help you out. All right. Good. Thanks for calling, Gene. So, guys, we only got a couple minutes left. We're not going to be able to get through these all, but I want to plug next week too. Next week, we're going to talk about murder rates in different cities and if there's any correlation between the city, the political affiliation, the gun laws. And we're going to talk about a city. And I'm not going to say it yet. There's a city out there where on the books, and this isn't just a town of 1,000 people, on the books, this 33,000 folks in this town are required by law to own a firearm.
And maintain. Own and maintain.
And guess what the murder rate is, JC? One murder in the last 6 years.
Yeah, I think it was. Since they put it in, it's been 38 years since they installed this. I think it was 82 when they made this requirement.
So it's definitely worthwhile. We're going to talk about that next week. JC, we have a minute. You want to hit any high notes?
Real quick for those revolver fans out there, Ruger has a Super GP100. Well, it looks really cool because it's a 9mm and it's an 8-shot, and it's got a 6-inch barrel. So they reduced the cylinder and moved the barrel back a little bit, so it doesn't look any longer than their normal 5-inch. But it just looks pretty cool. 8 shots, a 9mm in a revolver looks very cool. ATI, American Tactical, they have a clear receiver now for their ARs, and they combine metal metal infusion, I should say, as well as fiberglass, and they have kind of what they call it, smoky red, smoky blue, or smoky gray, but you can see right through it. It's very eye-catching. They say it's durable. I mean, they're standing by it, and it looks really, really pretty cool. We talked about that Kel-Tec has a integrally suppressed, which not much except it's integrally suppressed. SIG now has their RXP320 series, where they all come with a Romeo optic, so it's all ready to go right off the bat, and that's in full size, compact, and subcompact. These are just some of the new things that are out there.
You know what, JC? I have a couple too. We'll catch those next week too.
All right.
We'll follow up on a couple of the things. Yeah. Thanks for spending the last hour with us. Thanks so much to Hickok 45. Always good to hear his
thanks
voice.
Thanks for our fans for checking in on Facebook too.
Ed, you're right on the head there. Nail on the head there. Yeah, thanks for everyone checking in. Stop by and see us. We're at 999 Bethel Road. Tons of new used guns that came in. Come check it out. There's still a bunch of sales going on. Have a good week, and we will catch up same time, same place next week.
From the Elk and Elk Studios, Zantac, the popular heartburn drug, has been linked to cancer. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. News Radio 610. WTVN.
Sandoval has it all. Get the year off to a fast start at Sandoval with a special demo sale.
Are you there, Emily?
Yes, are you?
Yeah, don't say nothing bad. We're still live on Facebook.
I never do.
Papa said the S word during a break.
Well, good thing we weren't on air.
I know. Hey, we've gone 258 shows without using the dump button.
Let's not jinx it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like using it because I have to write it down. And
Do you really?
Yeah. So.
When do you use it often?
Sometimes it just depends.
Really? Is it up to you to determine when to use it?
Nope.
Oh, really?
It's up to the FCC or whatever.
Oh, wow. So you have a list or whatever?
Yes.